Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. It's Friday morning, February 5th, 2021. Thank you so much for joining me today for this episode of today's best stock picks. We're going to go off the normal path today, and actually we're going to discuss a couple of pharmaceutical stocks. One that has exploded, recently went from about $20 to up to 118, and now has a pretty big pullback and a very interesting story behind it, which is why we're going to be talking about it today. Now, again, all of these stock picks are for educational purposes only. What you do with them is up to you. Everybody comes to the market with their own risk tolerance, their own resources. So hopefully this is putting you in a direction where you'll have some interesting ideas, and then you could choose whether or not it's right for you. If you find these videos helpful, definitely click down and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And more importantly, I'd like to help you. I mean, obviously, if you have any questions, click down, leave a comment below about any of the stocks that we discuss here, and I'd be more than happy to come back and have a discussion with you about it. So futures are up again. We got some more numbers out this morning, not really big earnings today. They've kind of all played themselves out. I think yesterday afternoon, we had eBay this week. Later in the week, we had Peloton, which did not have good earnings yesterday. Actually, earnings were good, but the stock sold off. That's the eternal mystery, right? But the futures are up again. The Qs and the SPYs are all right at or near all-time highs. It's a pretty interesting time in the market right now where we're not necessarily seeing the quote-unquote market leaders. We're kind of seeing these other types of stocks that have been the opportunity, which typically means that something is going on under the hood. We'll see how it plays out. I keep mentioning it, but you generally need the market leaders to be leading the market for the market to have legs going forward. Now, maybe the market is anticipating a stimulus package. I don't know. All I do know is the signs that I normally see, which are, the Apples, the Facebooks, all of those kind of stocks, energy stocks, financial stocks bouncing. We're going to get into that in a second. I'm not seeing the big stocks. I'm not seeing the ones you would normally say that they're leading the market. So that means we're kind of going down the food chain a little bit, looking for different ideas, alternative ideas, which is what I'm going to talk about. We're looking at today. So here's the crux of the conversation today. Every trade you put on, make sure you know what it needs to look like. Both if it moves in your favor and if it moves against you. You need to have a profit-taking strategy and you have to have a stop-loss strategy. But here's the thing. A lot of people have a stop-loss strategy but don't use it. And they have this false belief that the market always comes back and it's going to save them. That happens over the long term. It's historically happened over the long term, but the market's bigger than all of us, and it can continue to go down if it reverses and in a way that is a the market has more money than we do. So it's better to take that first loss if we reverse. So there's something different happening in the market right now. It feels a little bit different. Just be on the lookout. Kind of have like your spider sense up and don't move your stop loss. That's the big thing. All right, so we're going to get into the stocks. We're going to talk about some of the ideas that we're discussing. So as you can see, the futures are up again. Get back into the SPY sniffing all-time highs again yesterday, and the QQQ as well. So all systems are go as far as just looking at the indices. But like I said, kind of under the hood, different story. So what we want to take a look at is a stock that I have not spoken about at all. And it's a stock with a promising Alzheimer's drug. And you could read the article here a little bit. I'll leave the link below. Minimal side effects, has some positive outcomes. And then there's another stock, Anavex, that is doing similar work. So one stock is actually affecting the other one. But I want to give you the hourly chart just to give you an idea of what the stock has done. On February 2nd, the stock was roughly 22.50. And then over the next 2 days plus in the morning, it traded up to 117. And now it's pulled back more than 50%. And it's actually pulling back even further. So here's the deal. The deal is this type of volatility is not for everyone. This might be a little bit more investment type scenario if you learn to work the order, if you can handle the volatility. We were talking about this yesterday in the community, and some of the newer members were asking about day trading it. And I said, look, it's got $12 5-minute candles. That means that you're going to be most likely risking somewhere between $8 and $12 per trade, which means that you need to see a minimum of $24 profit on the trade. Now, the stock was only $22 3 days ago. The story has legs. The story is interesting. You might want to dive in, do a little bit more research on your own to see whether or not this is a long-term trade for you. If you're an active trader, if you want to get in, there's the symbol on both of them, AVXL. I'll leave it in the comments. And obviously SAVE. They are absolutely stocks that are now on my radar to start looking at as an actively day traded stock. That's going to be the key. Maybe even look a little bit longer term, but I need to see the volatility get to a reasonable point where I could manage the risk, where the upside is worth it. So definitely two stocks to look into a little bit. As far as profit taking is concerned, we called out yesterday in PayPal after earnings where we said not expecting to open a new swing trade position, to be trailing up a stop after the earnings. We had 244 as the buy stop, got a really good entry, traded even higher yesterday. But we said as the stock keeps moving higher, you'd be trailing up your stop to lock in those profits, expecting it to roll over a little bit, maybe even pause before the next swing trade. Earlier in the week, we called out two swing trades in JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. Both of them are following through. Hopefully we get one more good day today. We actually trade straight up into the profit target. From last week, we actually have General Motors. Our profit target is just slightly past this level as well. Both trades are following through pretty good. Earlier in the week, hopefully you were watching while we were talking about DraftKings, and there was plenty of news out on it, and we finally got a nice punch through. Also very close to all-time highs today. And you can see what I'm talking about. We're talking about alternative market leaders right now, not necessarily the stocks that everybody would know about, right? Penn, same thing. Penn new all-time highs, called that earlier in the week as well. eBay, very interesting. Earnings were actually pretty good. A little bit of profit taking yesterday, looking to start a new swing trade on eBay once we get a bullish U-turn, actually is what the ideal scenario. But the bottom line is the $60 breakout, $59 breakout was big. As long as we're above that level, that confirms the earnings, and we're going to start to look for a new trade. Twitter, actually one that we haven't called out since the whole scenario that unfolded in January. And it's fought its way, clawed its way all the way back to the level that we were looking at prior to this for a new swing trade. So now it's the first time through this level. You can see that we're not quite at all-time highs, but now this was really the level we were watching. 52 is the level that was on our radar, blasted through 52, went up through 54. Now the challenge is how much it's already just rallied. Now you could say it just made back where it was before. That's fine. I am looking for it to pause up in this 56 area today, maybe even on Monday. If it gives us a really good clean entry today, we'll look for that entry on Monday, but this stock should definitely be on your radar again. FUTU, we called this out a couple of days ago, spiked up, almost hit our exact profit target. Now pulled back for a little bit. If you're looking for a new trade, yesterday's low would be the spot I've been looking to pick up and look for a new entry. SWKS actually exploded, and then yesterday, not quite, but close to trading into a bullish U-turn. Today we'll be looking for a new swing trade long there as well. LB is one that I don't trade too much, but price action is too good to ignore right now. Rallied back up with the rest of the market, got through that resistance level. Now it's past the optimal entry. Because the stock just rallied $12, I'm not looking to buy it today. But again, every day we talk about the watch list. It gets up there. Want to see a pause somewhere around 48, maybe for a day or two, and then look for the next $10 to $12 move. VRM matches that criteria as well. I don't know if you were in the community about 2 months ago. We'll look down in this area. It looks like a normal downtrend, right? But then massive volume spikes started to show us accumulation, and now we're looking for the stock to comfortably get above the $45 level. So if you watched the video this morning on order types, you could have a buy stop order up at 45, looking for 52, and then ultimately 60. Let's see, OSTK traded into a pause. When we talk about trading into a pause, these kind of setups are what we're looking for. We believe OSTK, the next level is going to be 100. So this is definitely going to be on the radar right now. We talked about JP Morgan. We talked about Goldman Sachs. Hopefully you participated in these swing trades. You can see the optimal entry there on the chart. Looking for a retest of where we just came from. One more good day and we could spike up into that level. And that's the trades we have for today. So some interesting stuff today, not stuff that we normally talk about, but those do a little bit of your own due diligence. Get in there. You'll see if those stocks have long-term ideas for you, or maybe if you want to trade them. I'm waiting in the community just for the volatility to get a little bit more realistic. Because again, as a professional trader, we're more concerned with managing risk and then learning how to earn the upside. That's how you last in this business. As I say, respect your stops. That's a big part of it. We accept risking one to make three or more than three, but you have to understand that we accepted risking one. So if we happen to get stopped out, no big deal, go back and make it back on the next trade. If you have any questions about this, definitely leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any deeper insights into some of those stocks, that'd be kind of cool too. Put that in the comments as well. Maybe we can start a discussion here on YouTube. All right. If I don't speak to you, have a great weekend and have an awesome trading day today. Take care.